Welcome everybody, Jack here from Gingerbets and welcome to the Gingerbets Golf Betting Insights weekly YouTube show. For those of you that are new to the channel and tuning in for the first time, each and every week I preview the up and coming PGA Tour event. I break down the course. I have a look at the key skill sets required in order to lift that trophy come Sunday evening. And then in addition to that, I bring you my best outright winning selections for you to take down the bookmakers in the UK, the USA, Australia, or wherever you may be in the world. So if golf betting's your thing, then you've landed in the right place, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to be breaking down this week's first FedEx Cup playoff event, the St. Jude Invitational, and as ever, looking at the course, looking at the key skill sets required, and bringing you those all-important outright selections. But before I do that, if you are new to this channel, then you may be missing out on one of the best weekly newsletters that's available, free of charge, direct to your inbox each and every week. There's so much more information than I can cover in these short videos. In the newsletter, I break down the course in more detail, have a look at the key skill sets required in far more detail than I can go into in these videos. And then not only am I bringing you the best outright selections, but I cover the best outsiders to consider, and we've got form for delivering winners above 50 to 1 here at Gingerbets. And then I look at the top 20 markets, first round leader markets, 3-ball action and the 2-ball action each and every week is covered. So have a look. All the details are in the description box below. It's sure to save you time. It's sure to make you more informed, and it's sure to give you an edge over the bookmakers. Don't just take my word for it. Have a look in the description box below. Have a look on the gingerbets.substack.com newsletter, where you can read all the results for the past 18 months. And you can do your own research to see whether it's worthy of being part of your weekly golf content intake. But this week it is the TPC Southwind course. It's the first FedEx Cup playoff and it's the St. Jude Invitational. Let's get straight into it. Well, the course itself this week is a par 70, standard by nature, and it's set up 2 par 3s, should I say 2 par 5s, 4 par 3s, and the rest made up of par 4s, varying in distance and certainly in toughness. The course this week will be, I believe, quite tough. I don't think that they'll want it playing as easy as it has done in previous years. I'm expecting the rough to be grown up and certainly missing fairways or hitting fairways to be at an absolute premium this week. The course itself is demanding off the tee. It's demanding in terms of its approach play. But if you miss the fairways this week, that is where you will certainly be penalised. The ball sinks to the bottom of this Zoysia grass, Bermuda grass grain, and it becomes really difficult for the players to play out of. You get flyers, you get balls that don't travel as half the distance they should, and it becomes a real difficulty judging those approach shots. So that is something to consider when doing your research this week. I'm expecting a winning score of circa 12, 13, 14 under par, low to mid-teens. I don't believe it will get into the high teens and certainly won't touch 20 under par like it has done the last few weeks on tour. So that's the course and the overview of it. Let's more importantly get into those key skill sets that are going to be required to lift that trophy come Sunday evening. We'll take it from the tee box as we always do here at Gingerbets. And first up, I want to look at strokes gained off the tee, but more importantly, driving accuracy. All the player coats this week and the statistical data tells us that it's really important to hit fairways here at TPC Southwind. Then I want to look at approach play, and I want to look at key proximity distances, 125 to 150 yards, 150 to 175, and 175 to 200 yards. And the reason being that approximately 65% of all second shots will come from that range, and therefore we want players that are dialed in with mid to long iron in hand. Well, I've done that research for you. I'm bringing you that in my outright selections, and those of you that tune into the newsletter will be able to get even more detail with some of the best outsiders to consider and top 20 picks, where we've got some hidden gems that really excel in these key skill set categories. Then want to look at approach, strokes gained around the green. Quite simply, players miss the green 35% of the time here at TPC Southwind. So we want players that have proven that they've got the ability to get up and down time and time again. And that's what I want on side. Combining that with a bit of scrambling data, that will be another key area for me this week. And last, but certainly not least, Bermuda grass putting surfaces, let's look for players that excel on that surface. It is certainly advantageous to have good putting stats on the Bermuda grass putting surfaces that the players face this week. So to recap for you, it's strokes gained off the tee and fairways gained. It's then approach play, dialing a bit deeper into that proximity area of 125 all the way up to 200 yards. Then want to look at the around the green game, because players by default are going to miss 30 to 40% of those greens this week. And then last but not least, it's strokes gained putting. So that's the course. That's the key skill sets. Now let's get into those outright selections. I've got five of them coming to you from 18 to 1 all the way up to 100 to 1. Those of you that are interested though, I've got a real cool pick in the Outsiders Consider section in the newsletter, 150 to 1 in the UK. I can categorically tell you it will not be 150 to 1 come the off on Thursday. But more importantly, you tuned into this video for the outrights. Let's get to it. Headline in the portfolio this week, I won't keep you waiting, 18 to 1, Scotty Scheffler will headline the portfolio for the week. Let me quickly tell you why. Well, first off, he leads the FedEx Cup rankings, so he'll be highly motivated to stay in that position with a huge paycheck available to him in just 2 weeks' time. He ranks 6th in strokes gained off the tee on par 70 tracks over the last 36 rounds on tour. He ranks 2nd in green in regulations gained over the last 24 rounds on tour. He's in the form of his life. He's got wins to his name, all parts of his game firing right now, and he puts his best statistically on the Bermuda grass that we face this week. 18 to 1, headline in the lot, Scotty Scheffler, UK and the USA, same price available. Second selection of the week, Matthew Fitzpatrick, 22 to 1 in the UK, in the USA and in other parts of the world. And let's get into the reasons why on him. Well, he's a major champion already. He arrives here in the best form of his career. He's got 2 top 10s at the track previously, which shows his liking for the setup. He's ranked in the top 10 for greening regulations gained over the last 24 rounds on tour. An elite level short game, combined with the fact that he's one of the best putters in the whole of this field. He'll do for me. 22 to 1, second selection of the week. Third selection of the week, we're staying with another major champion. There's 3 major champions at the top of our picks this week. He's the Irishman. It's Shane Lowry, 33 to 1 in the USA, 40 to 1 in the UK with Unibet. That won't last. He'll be 33 to 1 across the board come Thursday. That I can promise you. And the reasons are quite simply, he was 6th here in 2020, so shown a liking for the course. His proximity to the hole stats stand out. With wedge play, he ranks 2nd from 100 to 125 yard. He's 6th from 175 yards to 200 yards. They're going to be key distances this week. He's shown that he can move the ball both ways with iron in hand. He's got good distance control. I'm sure that this test suits him. And last week, despite a dismal finish, he actually ranked in the top 5 for strokes gained approach play on the week. If you can continue that into this week, combined with the fact that he rolls his rock as good as anyone in the game, third selection, 33 to 1, 40 to 1 in the UK, Shane Lowry. Fourth selection of the week, well, I'm sticking with someone from last week. He headlined for me last week. He's available at 66 to 1 in the UK, 50 to 1 in the USA. Russell Henley will be the 4th selection of the week, and the reasons are just obvious. He was first in approach play last week on all the key proximity stats. He's absolutely dialed in, whether it's 125, 150, 150, 175, 175, 200. He ranks in the top 10 for each and every single one of them over the last 24 rounds on tour. Approach play is key here this week at the St. Jude Invitational, and I believe that he's got an outstanding chance of continuing the momentum that he's built over the last few weeks. He'll be the 4th selection of the week, 66 to 1 in the UK. That won't last, I can promise you. He'll be 50 to 1 across the board. Take advantage of those odds today. And last but not least is a player that's had an unbelievable season in 2020. Well, unbelievable, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but he's had a good and solid season, one of his best on tour. 100 to 1. Keith Mitchell will be the 5th and final selection of the week. Let me tell you why. Well, he ranked 1st in strokes gained off the tee last week, which is going to be key this week. He was also 5th in driving accuracy last week. So if his off the tee game remains where it was, his approach play will certainly be better. Of all players that made the cut, he ranked in the bottom 10% last week for approach play. So if he can continue the momentum of his off the tee game, combining that with his standard approach play, he's going to be a lot better than a 100 to 1 shot in my view. I have him around a 66 to 1, 70 to 1 shot, so I'm going to happily dial in at those odds. He will be the 5th selection of the week. Good luck with all your picks this week. Just to recap, it's Scotty Scheffler, Matt Fitzpatrick, Shane Lowry, Russell Henley, and Keith Mitchell are my 5 to go to war with. But if you want some bigger price picks at some better odds and some top 20 picks, first round leader picks, 3-ball action, then have a look in the description box below. This newsletter over my shoulder is available to you free of charge for the rest of 2022. So register your email address and do not miss out on the action. There's been winners galore. And like I say, it's sure to save you time. It's sure to make you more informed. And right now, it's pointing you in the direction of plenty of winners.